Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is Kathy speaking, and I'm very happy to be back doing a reading for you. This is a messenger is here, so we're reading the energies, my dear friends. Thank you so much for your wonderful wishes for my quick getaway. We visited Cyprus, and I've got no words to describe how beautiful, how wonderful, how gorgeous, and what kind of an atmosphere we were surrounded by. A wow holiday. Not long enough, dear friends. If you're thinking of visiting Cyprus, make sure that it's at least a week, at least 7 days. I would say 10 days, so that you could get to see a lot of it. But from what we saw, it was, oh my God, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm back. I will be telling you more about it through Patreon. Whoever is on Patreon, they will get to know more. Do consider joining us there. So if you're interested in a personal reading at all, patrons can get a personal reading right now. Well, for a little while, as I've said, I will not be doing personal readings for those that are on YouTube. I need a bit of time off. But if you are on Patreon, then the support is mutual. So, my darling people, the moon is transiting through Libra at this time. Libra, which is all about justice, balance, harmony. Remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is only a breath away from Uranus in Taurus. So Venus is in its home sign. Uranus is big shake-ups, awareness, radical change, anything pertaining to freedom, some sort of an awakening pertaining to love or money. That's what Venus is. It could speak to communication, bright ideas, anything like that. So it's happening now. These surprises, these tower moments are already happening. We're in those energies. And just to let you know, those who are interested in what Mercury's up to, so if you're a Gemini, and happy birthday, dear Gemini, and before I forget, a belated happy birthday to my darling friend, Mary Elizabeth. Mary, of course, I need to make a list of, all my friends and followers when their birthday is. I cannot remember everyone off by heart, but it's a belated birthday for you, my darling. I'm wishing you well on your solar return. Yeah, so whoever is Gemini, and happy birthday to all Geminis celebrating now. And Virgos. Mercury is at the 27th degree, my dear friends, of Taurus. Mercury's been over Algol, so it's been really, really tough. Mercury's come out of his retrograde, but I would say after 4 or 5 days, we've got the green light for sure. Mercury right now is on the degree of that lunar eclipse in Taurus, the full moon, on the 19th of November. It's exactly on the degree of that lunar eclipse. So what is, it's sort of pointing to back then. What was ending then? What completed for you? There's going to be information, communication, awareness, news. All that is Mercury. Mercury's short distance travel. And oh my God, like Mercury's Hermes. And Hermes was all around me on this trip. So I'll let you know about it. Do think of joining us on Patreon if you're interested. So dear Spirit, what is going on as we're coming up to a full moon in the sign of Sag, which is opposite Gemini, in a few days? I'm just getting the goosebumps. I don't know why I'm getting the goosebumps right now as I spoke of that full moon in Sagittarius. So obviously if you're a Sagittarius or you're a mutable sign, that full moon will be important for you. Mutable signs, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo and Pisces. So this is the full moon after that lunar eclipse in Scorpio. right? And it's going to be at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. So those that have got anything around the 23rd degree, it will be important. But we'll be doing another reading. Of course, we'll be doing a reading especially on Patreon for that. So dear Spirit, please guide, please advise. What are the energies that we are working with, as Saturn is also retrograde now in Aquarius? Lovely. Okay. What are the messages from the divine, from Spirit? Let's see what's going on. Temperance, Sagittarius, Jupiter. Jupiter in Aries, in a Mars-ruled sign. Beautiful. Remember that this full moon is ruled by Sagittarius, so Temperance is talking about healing or patience. Remember, this is my spirit guide, Archangel Michael. Something is playing out behind the scenes. Of course, Temperance, Jupiter, Sagittarius is about knowledge, wisdom, long-distance travel, higher education, foreign countries, foreigners, truth. I can say justice also, so it's great to see. I love this card, absolutely love it. It does speak to healing, maybe healing through wisdom. Jupiter is expansive. We're all wanting to expand and grow. But Spirit and the angels are saying that, you know, the blessings are on their way. Just temper yourself and be patient. That's what it's saying. Remember that Aries is all about go, go, go. That's where Jupiter is, but and Mars, which rules Aries. But Temperance and Spirit is saying that it's what is it that you're wanting to start, or that you've been hoping to start a new cycle. It's you know, on the back burner. It's going to happen. It's only when Spirit says so. It's just asking for patience. Let's see. Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Libra mainly with the moon. She's very fair, very just, very truthful. Sometimes she can make a judgment, some sort of judgment. She's very logical thinking. Remember, it's air, it's perception, it's communication. Something could, you could be dealing with someone that's reaching out. Again, she reminds me of justice. Usually, Queen of Swords holds the sword of justice. So if you feel as though there's been a lack of justice or understanding, or even clear and concise communication, or maybe someone's been holding back on their truth, maybe, you know, this could be enlightenment. Something will be spoken about, something will be communicated. The Ace of Swords is usually the victory. It's a victory card. The Hierophant, Taurus. So we've got fixed earth, the Hierophant, beliefs, religion, tradition, marriage, contracts, second chances, I'm going to say, with a Hierophant here. Something pertaining to truths. The Hierophant, remember, is a 5, and 5s are all about conflict. And there's a lot going on. I mean, with Mercury in Taurus, Venus is in Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus, the North Node is in Taurus. Remember that the Hierophant, it can speak to a spiritual connection as well, but it's fixed earth, and, you know, there's radical things going on and lots of changes pertaining to fixed energies. Remember the sword, the perception, the sword can cut through. It can be cutting. Some truths can be a little bit difficult, but they sort of clear the way for the changes that are necessary, because this is, A Hierophant is stuck energies. Now, this could also be a marriage or a commitment or some sort of a contract. Remember, it does speak to hierarchy and the people that are in positions of power, but also a lot of wisdom. Ace of Wands, beautiful. So it's like a light bulb goes on. There's something that there's a passionate new beginning. There's the ability to, and this is a potential, of course. It's like a gift coming through from spirit. Ace of Wands is, this is what I desire to do. And remember, fire and air can be quite strong and very powerful, right? Because obviously air makes fire grow. It can be quite explosive or just very quick. This could be a quick communication, truths, very passionate, that are going to jumpstart some sort of a new beginning. Now, it can be anything to do with vocation and work, right? Because the Hierophant is also, it could speak to contracts, or if you're working for a large firm company, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of desire here for trying to come into balance and see clearly, seeking the wisdom. And there is wisdom here, which, and remember, fire is all about its life. It's not about sitting back anymore. It's about the changes that are necessary. There's like a sense of awareness with Mercury, and we've seen the challenges with Mercury on Algol, on the last degrees of Taurus, right? And yeah, possible new beginnings here, and a lot of desire to start. This is a gift here, I feel. Another 5. I don't know if work is challenging or anything to do with traditions, obligations. There's 6 wands here, which do show a potential success, but it's like there is conflict, or there's so many things that need to be done. It's like, I don't know, a few people needing to work together, collaboration I get here to succeed, for the recognition, some sort of a recognition, but there's discomfort here because we've got 2 5s. Maybe not being on the same page with a certain situation. And remember that there's a lot of, Taurus is fixed and can be quite stubborn. So it's all about putting in the effort. The potential is here. And we've got the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is Pisces. Pisces is unconditional love. It's compassion. It's doors opening. And again, a 7. 7s again are very conflictual. Lots of doors opening, lots of choices, what to do. There can be a little bit of confusion here as well. We'll see that with the Lenormand 7 of Cups. And I want to say also that this full moon is going to be in contact with Neptune. So this energy is already playing out as well. So there can be a little bit of confusion or maybe a bit of deception. Something needs to be cleared. Yeah, Neptune is in Pisces. It's at 25 degrees. And obviously Pisces and Sagittarius, they square each other. So it's a bit of discomfort, but it obviously, squares are all about taking action and doing something about it to clear that confusion, or to seek, what's behind the veil. Let's see what's at the bottom. Oh my goodness. Talk about desires. Desires and karma, and this is toxicity as well. It could be difficult cycles, or just revisiting something of the past. Remember, with Saturn, this is the Saturnian card, Capricorn, right? Capricorn, which is all about being that mountain goat and drudging on. I mean, continuing to climb that mountain, and of course Pluto is transiting through Capricorn. It is retrograde. Now Saturn has shown retrograde. When we've got retrograde planets, my dear friends, those do speak to chances to revisit something pertaining to the past, so that we could redirect, change. We've got a chance to re-look at things pertaining to the past. Now, it can be a past karmic situation as well. We know that the devil, even though it's toxic, it also speaks to, you know, putting in the effort, striving to be recognized, to take that position of power. It's also a sense of grounding. It is earth. And yeah. So with Pluto now in Capricorn and Mercury in Taurus, they're trining. So they're 120 degrees, which is very helpful. So it's as though we're passing over that sort of darkness, or those fears, or that, remember Mercury was on Medusa, on Algol. So that poison, or those fears, or anything pertaining to what needs changing, what needs, you know, it's like sort of control being released. Remember that Pisces speaks to sort of surrendering and going with the flow, and Mercury connecting with Pluto. It's as though we're figuring out, seeing things that were hidden. Things that were hidden may have been also pertaining to fears, intimacy, and especially with the South Node, of course, my dear friends, in the South Node in Scorpio, which we're still in those eclipse, in that lunar eclipse energies. So let's see what the Karma Dharma is. Today, it's the 9th of June, my dear friends. But whenever you get to see this, I guess the message would be important for you then. Mercury's got the ability to get to the bottom of things. And once we get to the bottom of things and we've got the knowledge, you know, it's like that elephant in the room. Once you know, you acknowledge that elephant, there's nothing to worry about after that. It's the light, it's the wisdom that lights up a dark room. That, you know, that psyche of ours, which holds the fear. Let's see what's going on. Oh my goodness. Scorpio and the Death card. Exactly what I was talking about. It's wisdom, it's fears, it's poison, it's healing as well. As I said, as I just mentioned, I mean, Taurus and Scorpio, my dear friends, it's all about these eclipse energies. What needs to be eclipsed? What is being eclipsed from your life? You're shedding, you're letting go of any karma, anything that's wasted in your life or that's holding you back. Okay, the Death card. Death speaks to an ending, obviously. After endings, there's new beginnings. But we need to sort of purge anything that's holding us back from this transformation. Let's see what's going on in matters of the heart. And those of you that are fixed signs, obviously this is very important, this reading for you, even if you're a Leo and Aquarius. Saturn is at the 25th degree. I mean, those that have got anything around those, you know, you've got your birthday or planets or angles towards the last degrees of the fixed signs, there's a lot of changes going on for you. It can be exhilarating, can be exciting, can also be, oh my God, like tough. So let's see what's going on in matters of the heart. We do have lots of cups here. I mean, the 7 of cups. 7 is turning a corner. It's that maybe a Saturnian corner, maybe 7 years, maybe there's something karmic that you're needing to close up, a karmic cycle. Could be. Let's see what's going on. Dear Spirit, please guide in matters of heart. Moving on, 8 of Cups. We've got the Hierophant again, teach. There could be a teacher in our life. Anyone could pose as a teacher. Remember the Hierophant, all the things I spoke of here. Someone, maybe we've been taught a lesson, or someone's moving on and teaching someone a lesson. Agape just entered the room. She's not feeling herself. Ever since we came back, she's hurt her, I think she got into a fight, and she's hurt her left hind leg. So she's, we're taking special care of her. Yeah, she just wants to be in my presence, so I don't think she's going to climb on the table. Teach. So someone, yes, is either teaching someone a lesson by moving on, or we're moving on to someone who could be, because remember the Hierophant could be someone that sits in a position of power, or we're taught a special, I don't know, some sort of a lesson pertaining to a spiritual connection. Whatever the challenges are. But remember that the Hierophant is Taurus, and Taurus speaks to Venus, its values, its prosperity, its stability, its security in matters of love, right, in matters of heart. So whatever we're checking out from, we're moving into changes. I always say with a Hierophant, there could be second chances or another possible relationship on the horizon. I don't know, this could be with someone who is a teacher, right? And we've got choose your battles, 7 of Wands. And another 5 and another 7. So I feel it's like testing times, because choosing your battles, as I always say with this card, it's like, yeah, this guy is very little here, but the stance he holds, it's as though he knows his worth. He's got a lot of power. He knows his value, right? And these could be fears. I mean, these could also be projections where someone is larger than life, or just people, situations around them. And it says, be smart, use your knowledge, be wise, choose your battles, know when to move forward, know when to wait. Okay? So we've got a 8, 13, 20. 20 is judgment. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands, which is usually it speaks to expansion and growth. Having made a choice and moving forward with that, progressing to that. Fire speaks to action. The Devil is, it's Saturn, it speaks to timing. We've got the Ace of Cups. So we do have an emotional possible beginning recently. I don't know if it speaks to, if you're dealing with a foreigner. I mean, 3 of Wands can speak to dealing with someone that is at a physical distance. There can be blockages here with the Devil, or there's a great attraction. Or remember that the devil, it shows two people that are chained to each other. So a physical attraction, but a lot to do with challenges. I mean, Capricorn is never easy, but it's also hard work. It's also hard work. But we do see the light here. So some sort of enlightenment. Yeah, the light that lights up, as I said, lights up a dark room. And we've got a King of Wands here, dear friends. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. King of Wands, an entrepreneur, a leader, someone who could be very powerful, very passionate, someone who could pose as a teacher, difficult teacher in our lives with the, and they could have strong Capricorn. Let's take the Lenormand and see what is this Seven of Cups, since it's the outcome card. Agape. Hello, sweet pea. Yeah, she's slightly limping. That's what happens when mummy's away. Let's see. Seven of Cups. We've got the Divine Feminine here, so if you're a Divine Masculine, then this is the person you're thinking about. If you're a Divine Feminine, the choices could be ahead of you, or the confusion. Okay, we've got the Scythe here, very, very similar to the Death card. Scorpio. The Scythe does speak to, it's a 10, so it is an ending. Right, the Scythe is sudden. It's Pluto in Scorpio. Something suddenly is going to end. It's going to be cut away. Okay, it can speak to a warning sign, or, you know, and as we see, as we always see here with the harvest has been taken, it's been picked, but there's something that needs to be cut away, something that needs to waste away. We need to let it go. We need to move on from it. It does relate very much to the lunar eclipse and obviously to that new moon. Remember, just, 3 days ago or somewhere there, the moon was on that degree of that new moon in Taurus, that solar eclipse. So emotionally, it's like we're looking at our values. We're looking at how to move forward. What is it that we're shedding? What is it that is going to provide us with a sense of security, financial, emotional, right? What is holding us back? Oh my goodness. I mean, the clouds on top of the Seven of Cups. This is the confusion. I feel it's going to be a little bit like this. It's going to be like this until that full moon in Sagittarius, when we know with full moons, obviously, and in Sag, it speaks to wisdom. The moon takes the light of the sun. So we will have the understanding, the clearing up of the energy, so we could see clearly what is it that we either deceived ourselves about or we were deceived by someone else. Let's take one more, dear Spirit, please guide. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh wow. I mean, similar energies, it's obvious. And my darling friends, the snake, many times the serpent can speak to poison, yes, and it can speak to desires and seduction and craving, a very strong sexual, could also be a secretive connection, a third party, but, and it can speak to forbidden knowledge. So when meant to receive the knowledge and the wisdom when the timing is right, but the serpent can also speak to a third party. Yes, it can speak to a love triangle. There's going to be clarity. Now, this could also speak to contracts, but it is the letter. It is Mercury in Gemini, and Mercury's just in the next couple of days will be entering its home sign of Gemini. That's why I said 13th, 14th of Gemini, expect lots of clarity, lots of clearing up of the confusion. Okay, it's going to be business as usual. People will be ready to collaborate. Gemini is all about decisions. Yes, I've made my decision. How do I move forward? Will I collaborate? Will I not? It can speak to anything to do with siblings, extended family, anything pertaining to your environment, and communication, anything written, spoken, dear friends. And it's interesting that we've got a 27. 27 is where Mercury's at now. So this is fast news. These are documents. These are conversations, information, emails. Someone is expressing themselves. And the expression can be pertaining to hidden matters, or where there was fear about emotional or physical connection, communicating that. This will be like an unlocking. And beneath that there is the 20, the judgment, number 20. Okay, and we've got the Garden of Eden. The garden speaks to happiness. Yes, it speaks to someone's public life, or anything to do with society or teamwork or networking. So lots of communication, maybe collaboration as well. And I'm going to say with this deck, I always notice Aphrodite. She's come up from the foam. She's been birthed, right? Aphrodite, Venus on Uranus, in Taurus. Aha moments for sure. After blockages, something is ending here. It's a 21. This is the fork in the road. This is the devil here. But what happens is we move towards second chances, I'm going to say. Maybe a decision has been made. It can be a little bit of a crisis, a critical moment. As I said, second chances, awareness, and lots of news. What's the blockage? What's this fork in the road? We see the mountain. The mountain is Saturn. And there's conflict here. The whip and number 11. So, you know, something was quite conflictual. It was quick. There was opposition. There was debate. There was difficult discussion. Anything to do with legalities as well. Some argument. Some differences of opinion. But that is soon being overcome. We've got a couple of sevens here, and seven is, yes, the house of, it's the sign of Libra, which speaks to balance and harmony. That's where the moon is as I'm doing this reading. But seven is also the house of relationships with others. Doesn't have to be only romantic, could be partnerships, working with others. So let's take the message from Spirit. What is the wisdom of the Oracle? What is the advice from the wisdom of the Oracle, dear Spirit, today on the 9th? I feel I need to take this card. We've got why. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to take one more. We do see a book with wings here. The book does speak to knowledge. The wings, it's like the messages come through from Spirit. It's like the information falls from the sky, from the angels. There could be a clearing up of why. We've got the question mark here. It's like we're getting to the bottom of things pertaining to some sort of an ending, something difficult that we needed to close up, or feeling as though we've come to an end. And we've got unfinished symphony, another 10. Unfinished symphony. So we're going to find out that something has not finished. Something has not really completed. Symphony means music, right? Music is, it's calming, it's relaxing. Taurus is all about, Venus is all about music. A song or music to one's ears. Finding out some information will be music to one's ears about something not having finished yet, or haven't not having been completed. Higher power, number 4. So we've got a 31, which is a 4, another 4. 4s are the Emperor. 10 is Sagittarius. And the Wheel of Fate. So anything to do with security. Someone's emotional, physical security. Now remember, the Emperor can be quite controlling. 4s always speak about home and family. Higher power. I think I'm going to read that. Let's take number 4 and see what that's about. It's interesting that they all came in the upright today. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. The oracle's message reads, this card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. Let's see what the relationship message reads. It's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power, called God, Goddess, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number 1 priority. The appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connection and remain aware of your true nature. And we did mention that earlier. For some of you, you could be moving away from a marriage, a commitment, right? Because there's been too much deception. Maybe someone's betrayed you. You're cutting them totally out of your life. This could be information that's coming in. And you may be asking yourself, why? Why did this happen to me? Well, it's time to move on. I mean, this is the Heart Oracle. It doesn't have to speak to only romantic connections, right? It can speak to matters of heart, you know, anything that makes you happy or not. So let's see, someone is moving on here. Maybe it's all about the divine. It's about your spiritual growth and understanding that you are worthy, that you, and maybe this could also be your, it's like an example, setting an example. Maybe you are a teacher to others. And respecting and loving yourself, and yes, choosing your battles. I do feel that there's a strong spiritual higher power here, and it's like someone is going through trial here. Someone is on trial, and it's like Saturn is saying, have you been standing in your integrity? Have you been doing the right thing? Because you're being judged right now. You're being judged. We've got strengthening bonds, the Ace of Pentacles, and this is the past position, recent past. For some of you, could be more distant past. Strengthening bonds. We've got a couple of aces. We did see the Ace of Cups. We do have the Ace of Wands. It speaks to new beginnings. 4, 8, 9. 9 is the number there. Today is the 9th. Could be a very important day today. 8, 13, 20, okay. Ace, strengthening bonds. So something stable, long-term, something of value, some sort of a relationship, leaving a marriage, moving on. And shine, the sun. Moving on from a marriage, or moving, it's like Another, you know, one door closes, another opens. Someone's following their heart. There's been some sort of happiness in the recent past, some sort of a potential here, but you need to move on from where you are. Leave those 8 cups behind. Helpless and hopeless. Those 2 mountains remind me of choices. We've got 2 stairways, what to do. 8s are like revisiting a situation again and again. Feeling trapped. Another 5, changing your focus. So someone has been going through changes here. There's been a sense of psychological entrapment. It's been a lesson, but still there's lots of changes. Remember that with Uranus in Taurus, it's all about making those radical changes. We're looking at, are we being valued? Are we being loved? Are we feeling a sense of security and connection to where are we now psychologically, physically, relationship-wise, business-wise? Where are we? Have we been happy? Opportunity beckons, 4 of Cups. And embrace, number 21. The World card, and the World card does speak to those difficult Saturnian challenges that fork in the road, but it also speaks to success. And my sweet friends, we've got another Ace of Wands here, new vitality, a new passionate beginning, possible success here with anything to do with physical distance, people from other places. Opportunity beckons, like it knocks on your door. Opportunity knocks on your door, but choose your battles. Be wise. You've got the upper hand. Let's take, I want to have a look at this Ace of Wands for a moment. What's that about? Actually, before the Ace of Wands, I'm going to take the Queen of Swords. What's this communication about? So there's some sort of change, transition. There's yearning for truth, balance, harmony, equal giving and receiving, change, transition, like movement, building a nest elsewhere. Remember the storks? This is a decision maybe, or conversations pertaining to something long-term. And it's Gemini, it's Mercury in Gemini. So remember the storks, bring the child, bring that new thing that you've been hoping for. You've been hoping for change. You've been hoping for fairness. Let's look at that Ace of Wands. And we've got the anchor. The anchor, which does speak to a new beginning pertaining to something long-term. The anchor is Saturn in Capricorn, so it's again something long-term. So there's been a lot of change. It speaks to stability. Maybe even being held back for a moment. And security, and of course it can speak to business, feeling a sense of, you know, yes, this new project, even though it's quite conflicting and it will bring lots of changes, it will open lots of doors. It speaks to being strong, laying foundations. Let's look at that Hierophant. We've got an Ace. The Rider, Mercury in Gemini again. So the Rider is like a knight that's coming in. This is a brand new beginning, new cycle, lots of news, lots of speedy messages coming in. A lot of powerful energies, which will, and as I said, it will enlighten us. That Uranus on Venus in Taurus. Expect radical changes. What is the conflict about with that 5 of Wands? What's that conflict about? And we've got the dog and loyalty. There can be a few disagreements, but there's loyalty, there's admiration here, there's friendship, there's working together. There's devotion, there's support, which I love to see. Okay, let's take a message Let's take a message from the Spirit Messages by John Holland. A message from Spirit, dear. Dear Mercury, dear Hermes, what is the advice? Listen. You have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention. Not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words. Interesting. Now I'm going to say, you know, those 5 senses are Taurian. Listen, are you listening really, or are you, you can hear the other person, but what are they really saying? We've got unfinished symphony and a higher power. Listen out also for sounds, messages coming through. Listen carefully. And it's not a time to offer advice, but to be a compassionate listener. So the wise you will be, we will receive the information here. Have a look at the card. Maybe it speaks to you, possibly. If you can see the card, let's see if I can clear it a little bit better for you. Yeah. Okay. So pay attention. Pay attention. The message, the why, could also come from the divine, from our higher power. Dear friends, let's just take, I would like to take the astrology reading cards for a moment. Now, today's message is a little bit longer since I haven't read for you for a few days. So dear Spirit, what is it that we need to know? What's going on? 9th of June, 2022. And we've got the Sun. Your immortal spirit, purpose and destiny is involved. So we do have Leo. We've got matters of heart. We also saw Leo here with the Sun card, dear friends. So Leo speaks to leadership. It speaks to generosity. It speaks to matters of heart. The Sun also speaks to reconciliation, healing, a childlike happiness. It's the house of fun. It's the house of flirtation. It's the house of creation, having the ability to create. And it's also, Leo can speak to a little bit of ego as well, but it does speak to, as I said, matters of heart. So there's destined things going on. This, I don't know, your immortal spirit, purpose and destiny is involved. So matters of heart, immortal matters of heart, a spiritual, immortal connection. That is still, and it does remind me very much of twin flame. So destiny is playing out. Something is happening on purpose here. And I'm going to take one last card and we will call it a day. I'd like to look at the serpent here. What's that about? Because this can speak to planning. It's moon in Cancer. And moon in Cancer does speak to our psyche. Right? And we've got the child. So, my darling friends, and it's moon in Cancer. Moon is nurturing, right? It's the home. It's matters to do with the past. Forbidden relationships pertaining to the past. Forbidden knowledge pertaining to a child. Or anything that's being shed now so that this newness can come through. Because possibly with these stalks which bring the child, this is the realization of this new beginning, of the transformation pertaining to this new beginning or to a child. It's a 13, which is the death card as well. So things that are going on could pertain to a child as well. This could also speak to an unplanned pregnancy, so do take a precaution if you are not wanting to fall pregnant. But the child speaks to, very much like the sun, my dear friends. The sun is childlike energies. It is the ability to create. The sun is a child. It's happiness. So, sorry, changed my mind. What's the devil? Last card, and I'm going to let you go. And we've got a very strong, flirtatious energy. There's an offer on the table. Maybe it's timing now. It's a 9. It's a 9. And today again is the 9th. So this could also be an indecent offer. Because there's a strong sexual connection here, attraction. So, yeah. Number 9, Jupiter and Sagittarius. The offer is here. What are you going to do with it? Okay? And we need to release fears, I'm going to say. We've got Capricorn, we've got Scorpio. We need to remember what I spoke about, the light. A speck of light lights up a whole darkened room, my dear friends. And with that, I will let you go today. Thank you so much for your loving comments, your beautiful wishes for my few days off. I really do appreciate. I do feel the love. Thank you so much. Love to hear your comments. Please share the video, like the video, subscribe if you are not. I will be back. Thank you so much, my darlings. Ta-da. Talk to you soon.